welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is Friday, so remember we always RED on Fridays. Can my other finger up there? Grab something red, drink out of something red, but most of all, we remember everyone deployed every Friday, and we're so grateful for our military servicemen and women and the families that serve alongside them. So, cheers to you. I'll be right back with Clint Westwood right after this. Welcome back, Westwood. Good to see you.
I'm here. Well, thank you. It's great to see you too, lovely Litecoin Lisa.
Yes. It's a wonderful Friday.
It is. It's a beautiful day here.
Yeah, we've had the craziest weather. So the beginning of this week started out, Mom and I, well, first of all, she had just taken all her plants outside. And she has tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of plants. And then we get this freeze warning Sunday night, I believe.
Yeah.
Down to 18 degrees here. It was so cold. So she brings all her plants back in. Then she takes them all out. And now today it was in the mid 90s.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was only high 70s here, but
really?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was working with Event Horizon, the guy that does VE test.
Yeah.
Earlier today on a project, and he's in Phoenix, and he said they're going to have their first 100-degree day in March, and they haven't had one for years.
Yeah, I heard it was the first time in winter that they had 100 degrees there. Because what is today, the equinox?
20th.
Is today the spring?
Is it?
I think today might be start of spring.
Well, crap! Now I got to put my glasses on.
I know we got to fact check here. We got to be right there. I think it's today.
First day of.
But I think Phoenix, they've never had a 100-degree day in winter. So which is obviously yesterday and the day before.
Oh, I misspelled. How can I misspell that? Good Lord. Okay. Today is the first day. March 20th. Friday, March 20th is the first astronomical spring in the northern
today.
hemisphere. Yes.
The 21st for some reason.
I think usually the summer equinox or whatever is on
solstice.
Solstice is on June 21st. So that maybe
that could be off. One of the places I'm off. Several of them.
I think you're good.
All right.
I want to say hi to everybody who's saying hi in the chat. You weren't first, Thoran, but we're glad you're here. And Hyan. Is that H Hyan? How do you say that? Hyan?
Hyan.
Just Hyan. Like Hyan.
Or H.
How you doing? Okay.
How you doing?
How you doing? Viva Flav's here, and Moto is here. Moto King.
The king of motos.
The king of motos, yeah.
Good Not stuff. To be confused with the emperor.
Aquarian Done Napping popped in.
All right, she's always here.
Yes, good to have you guys here. Yeah, the emperor did quite a great show yesterday on WBRT. That was fun. Talking about tokenization of assets and kind of benefits and downfalls and how that would work and how that plays out. It was interesting to talk about there were a lot of existing projects. Like we've come a long way in a short time, and so it's quite interesting to kind of watch that all unfold.
We're tokenizing Iranian sand next. I don't know.
The sand, but it's possible.
I don't know. Do they even have a lot of sand over there, or am I just stereotyping a region? I don't know.
I'm not familiar, so I don't really know. There were reports about, and I put a lot of the stuff that I find in the Telegram group, which is free for anybody to join. There's a little link in the description below. Yeah. And they are coming out with the reports that a lot of us knew about, but Hillary looking for weapons of mass destruction, but she was really looking for like Nephilim stuff.
I heard that. I mean, the whole Iraqi thing might have been a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Like the Hitler and the Nazis looking for, all the artifacts, Indiana Jones style.
No, I can't. Oh, there it is. Tom shared it. Our friend Tom from
war in Iraq.
Hold on, maybe I can get it to play for you guys. I might have to play it in the stream, but it was really interesting. People were wondering, why are they shipping over pallets of cash to Iraq and Iran? Was that Iran that the pallets of cash from Obama went to?
Yes.
And a lot of people are saying, some people are saying, oh, America struck first. Well, if they were part of the steal, basically attempting a coup on we the people, and trying to steal our rights to voting and our government from us, then that's an attack on us. And they were not the only ones. Venezuela was involved. Cuba was involved. And so anyway,
there was a European country. Was it France or Italy or Greece or something? I can't remember. There was somebody.
Now the Italian embassy, there's a story about the Italian embassy intercepted the Leonardo, the information from Leonardo satellites, where they were crossing the votes and making all that kind of happen.
Okay. All right.
This more talks
war in
about
Iraq.
Can you see it?
Everybody meet Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh was an ancient Sumerian king who ruled in what we now.
Can you see it? If I
can't see anything with
you can't see anything. Okay, maybe I can just.
Was an ancient Sumerian king who ruled in what we now know is modern day Iraq, and he was a 17 to 20 foot giant. He was a demigod, which means he was half human and half god. Now, Gilgamesh was a barbaric king. He built up and ruled over the city of Uruk, which is again modern day Iraq. So what does he have to do with the war in Iraq? This brings us to 2003, when German archaeologist Jörg Fassbinder was digging in modern day Iraq, and he thought he found the city of Uruk.
Gilgamesh was simply a figment of myth. That was until Jörg Fassbinder and his team of archaeologists, using modern technology to look deep into the ground, discovered an entire ancient city beneath the desert, astonishingly laid out just as the city of Uruk, over which Gilgamesh had purportedly reigned, was described in the epic. More importantly, on the outskirts of the ancient city was what appeared to be a burial site, which archaeologists believed to be the tomb of the ancient king.
So Jörg goes to the authorities, tells them he thinks that he found the city of Uruk and possibly the tomb of Gilgamesh, and 5 months later, we invade Iraq. Now here's where it gets crazy, because not only did we invade Iraq immediately after his findings, our military built a base directly over the ruins. Anyway, it's not a secret that the USA established a base in the old Babylonian city, destroyed some historical artifacts, and also took with them many of the artifacts. They constructed buildings and helicopter landing pads in the ancient city. It's not a secret that they were searching for something very important.
This is where it gets crazy. Yeah. All the archaeological sites were then stopped in Iraq. So stop digging, you're out of here. And the U.S. military set up an encampment around the tomb site. But the locals around this encampment reported that the U.S. military were digging at night, taking things out of the ground and putting them onto trucks and driving them off.
There were no weapons in the past. And something's wrong. It's all over the seat. We're going into Iraq to get artifacts, not to get anything but artifacts. That was the most important thing, they said.
But which artifacts?
I don't know. They just said artifacts. There were things in Iraq that were sold that we had to go get. Each wanted those artifacts. It was very important.
Did we get them? And if so, where did they go?
They said they got everything they needed from that country.
Where is it?
I don't know. We have it.
Saddam Hussein was building a massive reconstruction of Babylon near the ancient city. Was he trying to hide something huge? Is that why the U.S. decided to invade Iraq so fast and acquire the ancient relic? If you go on the Department of State's website and type in Gilgamesh, you are actually brought to the formal request for the ancient tomb of Gilgamesh. They were requesting his body from the burial site. So when we invaded Iraq, we went in and just took it all, and we actually had to return it. There's even an email from WikiLeaks that says requesting documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephilim. Our entire world is biblical. So what does our government do? It comes in and it covers it up.
So hopefully you guys could read all that or see that.
That's what they do.
That is what happens. And so there's the other side of the argument as far as the war in Iran, that are we going in there and covering something up?
Yeah, or uncovering something, covering something. Yeah, the same thing. Most likely, it's usually multi-layered. It's not that it's one thing. Again, like the World Trade Center, like all the stuff, the Murrah Building. It's
Yes.
always multiple layered things, and it's like, okay, we got enough things to where now we need to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
especially
as
that
long-
ancient area like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like uncovering stargates and fallen angels and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, I thought it was
Mhm.
interesting. And to tie into that current event, there is a missing general right now, and he's kind of like the guru of, it's my understanding, of UFOs. So former U.S. Air Force general linked to U.S. UFO research goes missing in New Mexico.
All places near Roswell, I'm sure.
Or Zorro Ranch. Neil McCaslin, William Neil McCaslin, Air Force veteran, it says. So he's now missing, and there's a silver alert on him. He was last seen at 11 a.m. local time Friday, but this was, I think, posted March 6th or something. So McCaslin's wife said she had left him at home without his watch or phone. Oh, he had left home without his watch or phone.
Okay.
I really should put my glasses on.
Very odd.
Yeah, which was unusual for a man known to be experienced outdoorsman for passion hiking and skiing. The silver alert was issued indicating particular concern for his well-being. He suffers from an unspecified medical condition. So they're talking.
Yeah, it's called he knew too much.
Well, sometimes.
That condition.
Yeah, so this talks about where he worked. He previously worked at the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, that's where they took the wreckage from Roswell and
Exactly.
Wright-Patterson.
The debris
Here
from
we go. Yeah.
47 Roswell was taken for analysis. So things that make you go,
Like all the microbiologists disappeared, before COVID.
Yeah. This is interesting. So Blink 182, Tom DeLonge is passionate about UFOs and claimed that McCaslin helped him on related projects. That seems like an odd statement.
Related projects. What would they be?
I don't know.
What is this guy known for, I guess? I'd look into that.
Yeah.
What causes does he?
Tom DeLonge and Blink 182. So you know what it is.
No, I don't. I'm just it's speculating. I don't know. There's got to be something that you could probably see what he's interested in, and then maybe you connect it.
So he was getting his help on disclosure practices and setting up his quote To the Stars Inc. company, dedicating to promoting extraterrestrial matters.
Matters.
I don't know what that would be.
What is that, like meteorites? I mean, what are we talking?
It's odd. I wonder if I look up this To the Stars Inc.
To the Stars Inc.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. I have to turn my screen off. It's so annoying.
It's be annoying.
So annoying to me. Yeah, kind of crazy. So, the timing of all this, there's more and more talk about
Disclosure.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are just seeds probably that are out there. Yeah, it's almost like if people start disappearing who are connected to the whole UFO studies and, the extraterrestrial stuff, we must be getting close, because maybe they would say something they're not supposed to say and disrupt the narrative. I don't know. We'll see.
So it says To the Stars Inc. is a company founded by Tom DeLonge. Oh, whoops. I'm not sharing the rest of the tab with you guys. I'm just reading search stuff. It's not really that interesting to look at, but anyway, focusing on aerospace, entertainment, scientific research, particularly related to UAPs. Then it says To the Stars Media get the essential definitive research hidden power, intelligence, occult ideology, political violence. I don't think that's his though. Because it talks about designed with vintage inspired plaids and anti-scratch wool blend. So I don't know. I think it
Okay, something just clicked. All right, he said to the stars. I mean, it reminds me of to the moon, Alice. Okay, there's that whole theory that Jackie Gleason was taken in by, I don't know if it was Truman or Eisenhower or somebody, and visited UFO sites and saw alien dead bodies. To the moon, to the star. Yes, have you ever heard that?
I've never heard that.
Okay, look it up. Jackie Gleason, UFO alien. And then it'll come up. I mean, he was escorted, special access to see some of these alien bodies, apparently. I don't know. It
Okay.
was just a Hollywood legend. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking to the stars, to the moon. That's what clicked in my head, so I had to say it.
I'm glad you did.
Trust myself.
Trust
When I get this
yourself.
intuition, I just got to throw it out there. Documented now on Happy Hour. March 20th, 2026.
There you go. Let me see if I can look up a to the stars, to the moon.
Let me get a drink.
Okay. Jackie Gleason, reading on far out. Here's an LA Times, 1988, of course. And he had a passion for the occult. Interesting. He had a secret passion for the supernatural, curating a collection of books in afterlife and UFO. He donated it to the University Library Special Collections after his death. This is an LA Times article about him. Let's see. Am I sharing with you guys? No.
I'm thinking it was Eisenhower. That would fit in the 50s.
Okay. So
Eisenhower, Jackie Gleason, aliens.
His widow, Marilyn, donated the volume collection of books. He had a 3,700 volume library that dealt with UFOs, parapsychology, and the occult. Some of these books are kind of crackpot. Things like I Rode in a Spaceship. University of Miami librarian Jay Calvin says. He went out of his way to collect books on the occult. He was personally interested in unexplained phenomenon. Oh, goodness. He didn't just collect it. He read it. After cataloging, it would be available for inspection by the public appointment. Gleason's friends said Gleason was a voracious reader who went through 3 or 4 books a week. He's very bright and had a photographic memory. He would recall every passage he read. That's why he never rehearsed scenes from his shows. He'd read a script once and have it memorized. Okay, so they're talking about, I don't know, ghosts and goblins at Tom Reed's door. I don't even know what all that means. Trying to teach.
Oops. Ooh.
Oh, and then he says last year's October stock market collapse prompted him to give away 100 shares of Canadian Tire. When word got out about the giveaway, the children and their parents some 60 miles away began lining up at his door, and the shares were gone in 27 minutes. This year's offering, Irwin Toy, is valued. So he gave away stocks for. That's really interesting.
I don't know. Somebody out there dig around, do some research on it.
It's odd. Very odd. So, anyway.
Yes, they're talking about Silver Alert in there about that general or that Army veteran or that military veteran. It's a Silver Alert.
Great call, Thorian and Polly P. Silver Alert.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Now you're connecting the dots, and you didn't think you had anything to talk about today.
That could be. Yeah, and there was a 107. He shared and this is just a portion of interview. So he reshared his interview with Nino, and in it he's talking about silver. And I wanted to share this with you guys as well.
Digital silver, Litecoin, sound money for the digital age. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. Are you playing audio? Because I don't hear it.
Prices for various materials for mining. To the Vance is leading that with this, the largest of the mining groups globally. The floor that's being negotiated is somewhere between 240 and 320. And I think it personally it's going to be somewhere around 280, but they're negotiating in that range. And the industry people that I talk to, external to the U.S., they like this 240 for various reasons. Internal, they want a floor of 280. And the reason that you have to have some kind of a pricing agreement is because what happened to America previously was that China came in with its slave labor and things where they're going into these countries all over the world, extracting these minerals at costs that were below the cost of production here in the U.S. So companies stopped mining. They just stopped mining for silver. It's too expensive to mine for it. You can't sell it for less than it costs to get it out of the ground and to run a safe operation. And then you don't do that in like a week. These projects, take 10 years oftentimes to go from all of the prospecting, verifying where the veins are at, coming up with a mining plan, getting the licensing to do so. Our federal agencies do monitor stuff for good reason to make sure that the operations make sense and that you're not creating an environmental disaster or something like that. So there's a lot goes into it. And from an industry standpoint, silver is an industrial metal. And there's really nothing else out there that does what silver can do in electronics applications and some other.
And especially now with AI, right?
Yeah. And so you have to have a certain amount of silver just to handle the industrial applications. So we have a need that it's a choke point. If we don't have enough silver, there's a lot of work here in America that we just can't do. And by the way, Trump is returning industry to America. So the local need inside the country for these critical minerals is going to go up radically as opposed to other places in the world. We're shutting down China on a lot of this stuff. And by the way, let me just add this one little thing. The entire total complete fight, whether you're talking Venezuela, Iran, Cuba, which, by the way, is right next door to Guantanamo Bay, where China has listening posts in Cuba and Russia has listening posts in Cuba. With what's going to go on in Guantanamo, we need to root that out. We want that out of the area. So Cuba's coming around our direction here. So anyway, go ahead. Silver up there close to 300 is the direction we're going. And there's paper silver obligations that are being cleared, these insiders, these people that have been manipulating the market forever. So they've brought down the transactional price of silver. It's not a street price on silver, really. And if you were selling your silver during this time period, that's probably not advisable. So
all right, let's get to the next question. I got to
paper silver is not the same as real silver. Go ahead.
So paper silver, not the same as real silver. So those two being the discovery of those being separated. But then when he was saying there's a floor that's being discussed somewhere between 240 and 320, he's thinking around 280. And that's because the cost of mining would justify that floor amount before it would be worthwhile for the miners to then have all the expense of mining and knowing they aren't going to get paid, or it's not going to come to that. I shouldn't say they aren't going to get paid because there's ideas, but the amount of silver coming out of the ground won't come out for 10 years.
Right. Well, and then you think, if you've got higher diesel prices, which they are higher, that's more input expense. So that's another difficult thing to ramp up. It's more cost operations to pull it out of the ground. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any new silver mines opening up until, it gets profitable. And so you've got to drive the price of the existing silver up to the point where, okay, yeah, it's going up. It's probably going to go to 300. Okay, well, we'll start investing again.
Well, and we saw, was it Samsung or Sony? I can't remember who it was now. Somebody made a deal with some silver mines peer to peer, like went straight to the mine and pre-bought their next 3 years of production or something like that. And with, like we were talking about on WBRT just yesterday, tokenization of assets, that's how like a mine could go ahead and tokenize. They could tokenize the silver in the ground to have the money now for the equipment, for the labor, for,
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, we've got, 100 million ounces of provable reserves, or, ore, the metal in the ground. It's like, okay, we're going to sell, tokenize it.
Yeah.
And as it comes out, the price of your token goes up. But right now, this is the price. We need the money. We can't get it out until we have the money. So
that's the floor money, guys. 240 to 320. So hold on as long as you can hold on.
And we're still printing money, so there's that too.
That's true.
We're 39 trillion in debt, so there's that.
Yeah.
Did you see that the Treasury is they're going to roll all the student debt into the Treasury? $1.7 trillion of it. That's all the debt, the student loan debt.
I don't know how I feel about that, because
I know that's I'm trying to get my head around it, because that's an asset on the books of the government or the Fed. Yeah, but if you roll it all into the Treasury, I guess you could just say, make it go away if you wanted. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see how it plays out. But
I don't understand how that works, where it was an asset for the Fed, but if they roll it into the Treasury, would it still be an asset? Because I thought the Treasury was based on.
Shouldn't be. It could be. Because you got money coming in. That's guaranteed money supposedly, as long as people keep paying. But or you could get to the point where it unencumbers it from Fed tentacles. I'm just looking at the bright side here. I'm trying to be not a doomer. I divesting of my doom coin here.
There you go.
No, you can
drink that copium.
Bring it into the Treasury, and then the Treasury can say, you know what, we don't need this, and just zero it out. That'd be a nice thing, right? But then there's the other side. Well, I got to pay for college and this and that.
Yeah, I don't feel so sorry for.
I get it. It's either way, but all debt is bad. That's the way I look at it, because the debt.
Well, all usury is bad.
Yeah, think about it though. Student loan debt, and they charge how much interest on it? It's usually more than a mortgage.
Yeah, and that's
ridiculous.
That is so criminal.
Yeah, but they'll give it to anybody, 18 years old. Oh, you want $200,000 in debt? No problem. You'll pay it back.
Because we'll make you.
Yeah, because you're going to have to.
But they're the only ones that can make somebody pay a debt, really. Because other situations, you could owe a debt, but they can't really make you. I will say for everybody listening, please look on if you have credit card statements or bills coming to you that are old, I believe it's more than 7 years. You may not owe that debt. And this is
usually most states, that's what it is. After 7 years, if they haven't taken you to court and garnished wages and and all that stuff, you can't do it. Now, if you pay on it after 7 years, then it starts over. So if you've gone 7 years and haven't paid and they've done nothing to you,
there you go. It's very interesting. Yeah, the old system is falling apart, but the new system is being built, and that's the exciting part. Is watching all the new stuff come together. So just hearing him talk about, there's deals being made about what the floor dollar is, like what they need to be able to extract the silver.
Right. There's costs. It's not an easy operation. Easy silver is gone. And so, it's not that easy to do. You got a lot of equipment, a lot of energy resources, a lot of things that have to go into it to get it out of the ground. What did it close at $68 or something today?
I don't even know.
It's not
I don't even watch anymore until I hit
You're right. It's it doesn't matter. It's
200. I don't want to even hear from it.
I know. Wake me up then, right?
Wake me when it's $200.
I know. Wake me at $1,000 Litecoin. All right. Then I might have $500.
There you go.
I'll be good. I'm in good shape.
Rolling,
Then.
rolling in it.
Partying, baby. We're gonna have a Westwood to remember.
Oh my goodness.
Waterloo's for everybody, baby.
Yeah, that'll be the best. That will be the best. And that's just right around the corner. That's the other thing. Like we're
3
so
months.
close on all this. Mom and I were watching another video. Oh, that's the Edgar Casey stuff. No, that was separate.
That was a good video.
That was a good video.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that one. That one was pretty good.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Completely resonate with it. Completely. I mean, it's like everything I'm doing in my own life, my own actions are doing just that. So I'm like intuitively preparing for that moment.
Yeah. It was really talking about that there would be this remembering that we'd remember who we were, and that would, I mean, I interpreted it as bring peace, but knowing fully who we are, then we don't have the wars and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I liked it. There was a term, I should have written it down. I'll have to watch it again. It was just a collective knowing. It was almost a spiritual awareness to where you won't need law because everybody will inherently know the truth.
mhm.
I mean, and the impacts of, harming someone else, because it's a web. I mean, so you break one strand of the web, the whole thing is rippled and affected, like there's a disturbance in the force. I mean, all that Carl Jungian stuff, that went into Star Wars. I mean, and we're all interconnected. And so once we have that awareness, you can't really go back from it because you realize the impact of everything that you do and every action, every word, everything that, you realize that it's harming you, because when you're putting it out there to another person that's really part of you in the large essence of things, you're just damaging yourself when you hurt somebody else,
Yeah.
and so then you're just like, oh man, mind blown. And so you just intuitively react differently.
Yeah. If you thought it was your whole tribe, if you
Yeah.
were all in a boat together, even if you're mad at somebody, don't stand up because we all go under. Yeah.
Yeah, right, there you go. Yeah, it's like, stop rocking the boat.
That's right. Literally.
Yeah, because
Right? Literally. So that was a great one. There was also another one that I put in the Telegram group that talked about Mom's been educating our neighbor about the polar shift. And he's an engineer.
it's like Link's driving in the cold. Is that what that is?
No, pretty close. Close.
Right.
But about the poles shifting, I guess. And that, not the polar shift. But anyway, Mr. Word Salad. But he's an engineer, and so he's trying to like unpack the whole thought process behind it. And so she was finding some videos for him and stuff. And there's this one, and it's talking about Edgar Casey's prophecy was that this year this would be happening, that there's a huge separation in the Earth's crust, and the swing of it causes the Earth to move, and the displacement of ice causes water to rise everywhere. And we're already seeing like Kilauea is erupting. I've seen some other volcanoes and stuff, but those were going to be kind of the first clues that this is coming. And then have you ever heard or seen of I'm sure you have, of the U.S. Navy map?
Yes. Joel Skousen has a map too, that shows the flooding. I mean, the earth changes and that kind of thing. And yeah, the Navy's got a map. And I mean, depending upon which map it is, I'm either going to have just beautiful waterfront property or I'm going to be, a merman.
You either have beachfront location or you're top on.
Yeah, I'm going to be good. Yeah. So either way, learn to swim, I guess.
Yeah.
I can swim.
Here are some images of and I don't know which one is more accurate. I'm kind of winging this, but
Chicken winging it.
Yeah, chicken swinging it. Show you where we'll be. So the blue is the submerged area. So they believe like most of.
Yeah. So I'm kind of hosed if in that top left. Actually, in the second one too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, actually, all of them.
Yeah. Well, you can come visit us, and we'll be like oceanside.
Are you sure? I'm looking.
On both of these, we're like right here.
All right, I'm looking. Might be moving to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Interesting. Right in the middle of it. There I am. Unbelievable. Well,
This
you
is
know,
in it, Westwood. Way to go.
God and I have this understanding, so we're good.
I see. I think you'll do well.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, they said no cigars underwater. You can't be a merman.
Yeah, right. I can't be merman, Aquaman. I am an Aquarius, which is not a water sign, but it's the water bearer. So, you know, there's probably something to it. Who knows?
Okay.
Maybe I can bear water.
I was going to say, you probably have to carry it on your back as a burden to all the
Yeah,
around you,
probably. Yeah. Just add another one. You know, why not?
knowing you.
Yeah.
You poor thing.
I'm all good.
Well, that's like, I mean, I'm all over the place, but that's kind of what I've been working on that project. So I'm kind of, my head's kind of in that lane. And then we had some health issues this week. So, and I drove to take my son. So it's just kind of a busy week.
On the road.
But, yeah. I did do a show with Skullcap, and that was fun. We did it about the Oz Ultimate Universe.
I know I saw the title and I'm like, okay, I got to go back and watch that because that looks interesting.
So I'm sure you've watched The Return of Oz.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It's the one with
Is it
Michael
the-
Jackson in it. And
Oh, I've seen parts of it. Yeah. What was The Wiz or something? He had the
Wiz.
Yeah, The
Yes.
Wiz was a musical with Michael Jackson in it.
Very
right?
scary.
Yeah, I know. I remember watching it. I'm like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah. And that one had it's a lot of this, not exactly, but like Jack the Pumpkin and the Sawhorse, and maybe that one was a prequel of some of
Yeah,
those.
L. Frank Baum wrote several of them. You know, Return to Oz, Wizard of Oz. I mean, he wrote a few of those books, and then they had different characters in each one of them, and so
Yeah.
it's probably extrapolated from that. You know, and
Yeah, so this is supposed to be like kind of a reference book to some of that.
okay,
And then there's an interactive that's really cool because it has these QR codes on it,
Oh.
and they have these interactive maps
okay.
that are kind of fun. Let's see if I can find my interactive map. Here it is.
Oz.
And each one of these, like his is a poppy field. You can play something Fiddlestick Forest.
Oh, like Candyland and meets Lord of the Rings.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Munchkin River. Here's the marshland. But then each one of these has like a little video with it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the giants.
An eerie fog covers this desolate and treacherous watery bog. The damp air has a rotting smell in this tangle of moss and dank water. Amidst scattered bones, frog goblins erupt from oozing mud, bellowing out ghostly croaks.
That one's probably one of my favorites because it reminds me of DC. And then it says frog goblins.
Frog goblins. Yeah. It sounds like an Alex Jones thing. The frog goblins in DC.
That's right. But anyway, it's really interesting. So
Yeah.
kind of fun to play with.
Now where is that at? Where can I find this?
Okay, so I need to send you one.
Yeah, I want to see this. This is
So
interesting.
it's The Ultimate Oz Universe, Volume 1.
All right.
The Lost Lands, and it has like a above is below picture on it,
Uh-huh. Yep.
and it's by Bun King and Diado Jr. But mostly it's this. Let's see. Jay
That's
Duncan.
interesting.
Oh, Jay Duncan did the introduction. That's not it.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'll find one.
it's really cool.
Interesting. Yeah, the whole Oz thing. I'm fascinated by it. Maybe you've got an Ozark in Missouri and an Ozark in Arkansas, don't you? Town.
Oh
Oz.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Ozark. Yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of that. And then the writers were Cullen Bunn and Larry King. And then the artists were Mike Diado Jr. So
What was the last name? Larry what?
King?
Like the King Crown?
Do they mean like Larry King Live?
Well, then there's the other, that Lawrence King that was in that Franklin cover-up scandal with all the kids in the 80s. Lawrence King. Go look him up.
Oh God, I hope
Throwing out tidbits here.
you
It's
do
not the
talk
same guy.
about
It's not the
even
same guy. I think he's dead now. But I mean, yeah, he was in like associated with Boys Town or something. Maybe it wasn't Boys Town. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, he was like trafficking all these kids in Kansas and stuff and Nebraska or something.
Ooh, King
Bushes were tied into it, of course.
41 is Oz. King is 41.
So anyway, yeah, Lawrence King was his name. They call him Larry King. And that's why I'm like, wait a minute, it's not that Larry King. No, it's Lawrence King. He's a black guy. He wasn't Larry King, the white guy. And on the
Well, it doesn't say which one on this.
But that Lawrence King, I think, is dead. I'm sure it's a common name. It's one of those trigger things. I'm just like, I'm pulling it out,
You heard it. You heard it here, folks. Yes, allegedly.
Connections being made is all.
Yes, I should have worn my allegedly shirt.
Synapsing and dendrites connecting.
All the things.
Some storm in there.
I'm glad. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't even want to say it. What's his name is dead, but he was kind of a jackass, so I don't really care.
Who is it? Chuck?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Chuck the jackass.
All the memes.
Yeah. You know you're self-important when they make memes about you like that.
Yep.
And your head gets so big and you think, oh, people really think I'm great. No, they think you're a jerk.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
But that's okay.
He was 86, I think.
Yes, I heard that. 86.
He got 86th.
Oh, perfect.
I don't know. I'm just firing off. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
You're good. You're in the zone. I'm halfway through my beer.
All right. It's all this Waterloo. It could be the end of me. Just like Napoleon.
No, did you see? Okay, this was another thing that I shared with Ben, and I thought I had sent it to you because you're the one who introduced me to the whole Ingersoll Lockwood thing.
Oh yeah.
And there was a
Underground Journeys.
Yes, I put it.
Last president.
That's right. I put it in the where did I put it? In Telegram. I also put it. But there's history on Ingersoll, the company, and they have a watch.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. I'll share this with you guys. This is so cool. So before it was Timex, which is what JFK Jr. wore, it was Ingersoll Waterbury, and before that, it was Ingersoll Watch Company. So then back in the 30s and 40s, Ingersoll made a particular pocket watch. I don't know where I came up with a pocket watch.
The pocket watch it, Gwen, is coming out next.
They're very popular. Wait for the pocket watch it. Pocket watch face, which said Ingersoll Trump. The last year it was in 44, and the serial numbers are 96 million range. The fact that it's even documented in British Museum collections. Anyway, you have to see this. Ingersoll Trump. USA.
Little Baron Trump.
No,
that was the character, Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey or something like that. Yeah, Little Baron Trump was the main character in that.
He was the time traveler, right? And
he went underworld and did all these different things and met all these weird people. It's kind of Wizard of Oz in a cave thing.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I wish somebody would do that as a movie.
That would be pretty cool.
It'd be a great
I'm surprised they haven't.
Yeah.
Because it is a fantastical journey.
Yeah. Maybe we can get that done with AI.
Probably. I'll have it to you tonight.
Run it through Claude. Do you have a AI that you like using or don't like using?
Just the one in my head.
Just the one in your head. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't use it. I really don't. I just never really I mean, once in a while I'll search
You do
on
use it. You
DuckDuckGo.
don't realize you're using
Well,
it.
that's it. I go on DuckDuckGo and then I'll see it'll be like generating response. You
Yeah.
know, I just do a search and then now it's like taking me to all these AI responses and like
Yeah.
I'm being ushered into it, not even realizing it.
Well, even using apps, you're using.
Yeah, it's all
artificial
built
intelligence.
in.
It's it's anytime there's an if then, it's doing the work of if then,
Yeah.
leading you to another pathway.
Yeah. Yeah, using it. That's why I'm buying DVDs and books.
Yeah.
I'm just a Luddite. I'm getting out. You know where to find me.
Well, that's all right. You're one of the stable ones that Edgar Casey was talking about that we need during this transition time
I'll just sit back and wait until 2032, then I'll be ready to go.
Yeah. But he says it kicks off like now and then through the 27.
Yeah, it's like now. I mean, I've been
It's like
feeling it
now.
for a few years. I mean, probably since 2019, honestly.
Mm.
I mean, really. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a knowing, a pull. And I mean, I find myself more and more just wanting to be hyper local. I mean, and find source things at the community level. And you know what, I like give up foods because I can't get them locally. I'm just
Mhm.
like drawn to local stuff now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's happening.
Well, and
the
then
connections, you know.
yeah, community and where your
Just
food
it.
comes from, and
Right.
yeah, that's awesome.
Mhm. Yeah, so no, I completely resonate with that whole piece. No, that you shared, the Edgar Casey thing.
Mhm.
I've been feeling it, you know, before I even knew about it, and that just makes sense to me. Is all. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
It also rhymes with the Dolores Cannon, two worlds, and that, you know, some people will be, and we've kind of been in this parallel system where people are starting to opt out or maybe have been opting out for years, but you're really seeing the separation
Yeah,
through a lot of this.
yeah, literally sometimes. You got people who you know, will grind their own coffee beans and people who will go out and get Starbucks. I mean, you know, you're living parallel lives. I mean, you know, so much of us, we've got the thing that, you know, the illusory, you know, reality that
Yeah.
a lot of people live in. And then you've got like reality, you know, that people live in. And so, you know, simultaneously, we've got two timelines going, probably multiples, but I mean, like two major timelines
Mhm.
going.
Existing on this earth right now. It's
Right now.
we're, yes, choosing to participate in.
Yeah.
I can't speak today. I don't know.
They are participatory engagers.
Yeah.
It's redundant, maybe.
My brain's a little fried from my meetings earlier. Sorry. It's just an exciting time though, because it's a time when there is a parallel system and there's an opportunity for growth, new things to be birthed, new ideas. You're not trapped in,
No.
you can choose.
That's it. That's everything's a choice. I say that every day about everything. Everything's a choice. We get to choose. We have the free will. It's up to us to choose whatever path we want.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get mad about it, but you know, well, what are you choosing? What choices did you make to get there? And you talk about that a lot, especially with parenting and foster parenting. Choices. I mean, you made the bad choice, so therefore that's why you're in this situation. Got to look at yourself, you know, and choose better.
Yeah, and accept natural consequences.
Yeah.
That's one of the most powerful things is like you said, you can be mad or sad or whatever, but that doesn't, you know, this whole victim mentality that
it doesn't do you any good.
Everybody does not change natural law.
Right.
Natural law is if you don't clean your room, you don't get to leave your room.
Yes,
Yeah.
you mess with a lion, you get eaten.
Yeah. Or if you don't eat what's for dinner, then you will be hungry. That's natural law.
Right. That's just the way it is. You don't put food in your mouth, then your belly is empty. And
yeah, and I'm sad for you that you made that choice, but you made that choice.
That's what I was looking for because you've said that many times. Like, I'm sad that you made that choice, but these are the consequences.
Yes. And you did it to yourself.
That's right.
That's where natural law kicks in.
Yep.
And that is one of the most powerful parenting tools.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking to a neighbor today. He was a guidance counselor. My guidance counselor in high school, and he's a football coach, and he's just a good guy. And anyway, he raises cattle and does all kinds of things. And, we were just sitting there talking, and he said, I came up with this thing. He's been retired for a while, but he still goes back and does the detention hall at the local high school. I said, oh, that should be interesting. Probably makes for a good conversation. He's like, oh yeah. And he had this like 10 questionnaire. It's like true, false. So you want to take a test to see if you're smarter than a barnyard chicken? And, it goes through all these things. Have you ever done this? You ever like badmouth your parents? You ever do this? And then it's like, well, if you've got 2 truths, you're smarter than a barnyard chicken, then it goes down. If you got multiple truths, and it's like, if you see an axe, you might want to run because you're going to be somebody's dinner, in life. And he applies it to life to where it's like, there's a pecking order. And when you mess with the rooster, you don't get to, and there's consequences for all your decisions. And so he relates that in a funny way to the kids. It's like, well, how's this working out for you? All these decisions, sometimes you got to do things you don't like, but it's because you want to eat. Do you want to have a home? Do you want to have, and it's like, be smarter than a barnyard chicken because they're pretty smart. They survive and they know that when the rooster, runs them, okay. There's an order here that, parents tell you to do something, you don't do it. Wonder why you don't have it anymore, And so it's kind of funny. He was telling me some of the stories, with the kids, and it gets through to them though. It gets through to them though, because they're like, yeah, I guess that's right. And I don't like it, but yeah, it's true. You're not going to get what you want acting like, a rogue, just wild ass chicken, you know?
If you act like you're the head rooster, then you better be able to put it
up. Be prepared.
Yeah, because you're going to get challenged. You put yourself in that position. Yeah. How cool that he gives back to the community like that.
Yeah,
and he doesn't just sit there. No. He takes advantage of that time with kids to give a life lesson and make it fun. And
no, he's a really good guy. He really is. Yeah,
awesome.
He's pretty cool. Yeah.
We all should do more of that.
Good neighbors, relationships with community. I mean, that's what it is, and so you just kind of, you build those relationships so that it structures in place for when these things happen. It's good to do anyway. I mean, if we were all doing this, we wouldn't have this turmoil and the earth revolting on us and, but we've lost our way and we need to get back to the old ways that worked. Otherwise we're going to face consequences. The earth will lash back.
Well, and that is that community, especially, I don't know when it kicked in, probably after World War II, but all this encouraged kids. Well, and the Obamas pushed huge for kids, you have to get your college degree, leave your parents, be independent. We can just give you millions.
Even though you're not independent.
Thousands of dollars on slave. Yeah, we'll make you an instant slave. And it really made a huge divide. And then they send them to these colleges where there have these indoctrination camps of, the woke virus. And so to reverse that, to come back to a compound family where we are living multiple generations together or near each other, help each other. One of the sweetest things with us living here with Mom now is watching Cannon love to help her. If he sees her going out to work on the chickens or the yard, or he's worried about her walking up the hill, all kinds of things. And it's just really great life lesson and wonderful experience. Our neighbors that just built, that Mom sold them part of her acreage on the other side. They just finally moved in. Congratulations to them. And the husband was so precious. We were going through the house. We gave him a little gift basket with a little house blessing on it and some food and whatever. And he said, I did this because mostly for my mother, because time is so short and I want to have time with her. Yeah. And so when where they chose to be was closer, because I guess they move around a lot or whatever. And he's like, I really want this for her and to have time with my children and my family. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing for people to appreciate their family like that again.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, when you have generations of knowledge and you see the stages of life, I mean, it's like seeing seasons. I mean, there's a death, the birth, and then the growing and, the aging and, and all that. I mean, it's important. I mean, because those are internal, really natural law lessons. I mean, that teach you a lot more than you realize,
Yeah.
you know, by being around it. And so, yeah, hopefully we can get ourselves right.
Well, and in that Edgar Casey video, it talked about, you know, in the new world or whatever, we would value knowledge, which that's kind of what Trump took us off the DEI.
Wisdom, knowledge,
Yes.
experience. Yeah.
And into the effort or merit system. And that's not just, oh, you know, I now have to start over from zero and I did all these years of work. No, that work comes with you because that's knowledge that then you have proof of effort, and it's a merit-based system that you can be rewarded for your knowledge to share with generations and exponentially to make the collective consciousness, you know, rise together. So
yeah, I mean, there's work harder, or work smarter, not harder. I mean,
Yes.
that's that kind of thing. You know, you can get out, anybody that's young can get out there and bust themselves and break their backs. And then it's like, then the old guy comes along and says, why don't you do it this way? You know, and then it's like, oh, well, that was much easier. It's like, well, you could have spent hours doing it that way, or you could have spent a half an hour doing it that way. You know, and so what kind of, that's valuable. I mean, the knowledge of how to do things is somebody that's been there. But, you know, you just got to let go of the ego and realize that people are trying, you know, when we get to that realization that everybody's trying to help each other and it's truly, we understand that, then it'll be that light bulb moment to where, oh, okay, you know, drop the ego, you know, take advice. They're trying to help, you know.
And your job sometimes is to listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So no, I look forward to it. I think it will go that way, and it may take it may be what do they say in the video? That person who has the most suffers the worst, because you're basing it in an old monetary based system that's broken, and you think by storing all these riches and all this wealth that you're going to be okay through this transition. You're not, because those aren't the tools that you need to go through this transition. It's what you have inside, your knowledge, you know, you as a human being, your heart, what you can offer as far as lifting up the community, as opposed to, you know, what can I get from the community?
Right.
You know, what can I hoard to protect myself? And he said, you know, and I believe this, you will attract, and by law of attraction, you will attract what you put out there. So if you're in this survivalist, prepper, hoarding mindset to where I'm going to fight off all the people that are coming for my stuff, those people will come get your stuff, because that's your mentality and that's the frequency that you're putting out there. You're living in a fear-based mentality.
Fear. Yeah.
And that's not it. But if you live in a loving, giving, that everything, you know, producing, knowing how to produce rather than store and hoard, you know, because that'll run out or it'll get stolen from you. And unless you know how to survive and work with other people to survive and use the skills, you know, collectively, then that's what's valuable going forward, those skills.
And that's that kind of tribe mind, where, you know, we're seeing, I've been following it for years now, where more and more of the lands and the water power plants and the rivers and stuff are being given back to the tribe. The tribes are gaining more power back, and they're in that communal kind of, to them, the mindset is no one owns the land. It's our job to steward the land.
Right, exactly. We're caretakers of the land.
Yeah.
It's God's land, the Great Spirit's land, you know, it's the universe, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, I mean, but we all know it's the same thing, and it's just, we call it differently. But yeah, it's like, we're just tending to it while we're here. You know, we don't own any of it.
But that's where
you don't own it.
The whole, you own your house and they shouldn't tax you. Not that I'm saying I agree with tax, but we are all really just leasing this land for as long as we're here.
Right.
Now you may pay up front, or you may pay your payment off at some time or whatever, but technically we're all leasing.
Yeah. So it's no different. I mean, you never own it. I mean, so quit thinking you do own it, and just, you know, do good by it, you know, and be a good human being, and
and be a good steward of your body too, so that you take care of it. You're part of the collective consciousness, and we can all be healthier together and lift each other up too.
Yep.
So I don't really have anything other than that today.
Nothing else? Okay.
I'm just kind of, I'm just kind of glad to see the fam bam in the chat.
Yeah.
I love having your comments that everybody's kind of chiming in there talking about. Polly says, in some cases, the land may be using you. That's true.
That is true. That's very true. That's it. How much land does a man need, right?
40 acres and a mule, I thought.
6 feet.
Oh,
ultimately. I mean, ultimately, that's all you need.
There you go. But
you don't even need that, you know.
You don't even need that.
Somebody with a match and some wood, you know, and then you're done.
Ashes to ashes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
For sure. Well, are you planning on doing a space?
I'm thinking I might. I was debating it earlier, and I think, yeah, I should probably do a space tonight. Yep, I think I'm going to.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I need to just give everybody an update, you know, just touch
well,
base.
Everybody's looking forward to Westwood, summer solstice Westwood.
I'm looking for it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking for it. 3 months.
3 months away.
I know. It's like bing, bing, bing.
It's going to be here so quick. We're going to have so much fun. I can't wait.
I know. It's going to be nice.
Yeah. So if you guys want more information about that, make sure you go to clintwestwood.net and check out all his information there. And there's also tons of educational opportunity and different connections to different people in the community as well. So you can check that out. You can go to litecoinlisa.net and check out ways to connect with me on there, including joining my Patreon. I have a $5 Patreon right now. So if you're enjoying this, exchange energy with me and support my work for the week.
Absolutely.
So it's like $1 a day for doing 5 shows a week.
$1 to watch VSTEC. Come on. $5 just for that show.
There you go. There you go. This one's pretty great too. So Jenny and I missed our show today, or this week on Wednesday, but we will be back next week on Wednesday for Jenny and Lisa, the tea with Jenny and Lisa. We're going to talk some trash.
Talk the tea.
Yes. So, all right. Well, we'll see you tonight on Spaces. Everybody, thanks for joining us. Take care.
America's not the government, people. The America is you. It is the Grand fucking Canyon, the Rocky Mountains, the deserts of the Southwest, the Pacific fucking Ocean, the Atlantic fucking Ocean. It is the grandest continent. And what the fuck have you people done? You have turned yourself into sheep, every goddamn one of you.